Welcome back to the Book Nook Podcast, the show for book lovers who love to dive deep into the world of books.
Yeah.
And today we're going deep with the thriller genre.
Oh, always fun.
Specifically, In Too Deep, the 29th Jack Reacher novel.
Wow, 29.
That's a lot of books.
That is a lot.
This is the first one where Andrew Child really takes the reins, and we have a pretty interesting stack of sources for this one.
Oh, yeah, lay it on me.
We've got Kirkus Reviews, Publishers Weekly, Goodreads, reader reactions.
Goodreads is always interesting.
Always. And we even have some YouTube reviewers.
Nice.
Caffeinated Entertainment and Shelf Life Book Reviews.
Yeah, I've seen those guys. They do good work.
Yeah, so it's really interesting.
It's going to be fun to see what they all have to say.
Yeah, a really good mix of professional critics,
Yeah.
passionate fans, and even it's like a peek into what the author thinks about this new chapter in the Reacher saga.
Oh, absolutely. And especially that author perspective is always fascinating to get a glimpse into their mind.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So for anyone who hasn't met the one and only Jack Reacher,
I'm sure there are a few out there.
he's kind of this ex-military policeman wandering the U.S., always ending up in these crazy situations that need his special brand of justice.
Yeah, right. He's like a modern day knight errant, but with a mean right hook.
Yeah, exactly. And in Too Deep,
He's in trouble again.
yeah, well, he wakes up,
Oh, no.
handcuffed to a table, broken wrist, and completely blank, no memory.
Oh, wow. So they really just throw you right into the action with this one.
It definitely sounds like a classic Reacher setup.
Tons of mystery, immediate danger, high stakes. Yeah, I can see why readers are loving that based on the reviews.
Yeah, a lot of the Goodreads reviewers really liked that it was kind of back to basics. You know, the lone wolf facing down bad guys who totally underestimate him.
Yeah, it's that classic Reacher formula that just works.
Yeah, it's like comfort food, but with like a broken wrist.
And probably some bruises.
Probably a few bruises.
But there's also this new character, this Jenny Knight.
Yeah, she seems pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, she's definitely not just some damsel in distress. She's got her own revenge plot going on.
Yeah, I was reading the Kirkus review, and they said the story's like a game of three-card Monte.
Oh, that's a good analogy.
Reacher's trying to figure out who to trust the whole time.
So that means we get a pretty complex plot then, right?
Yeah, more intricate than some of the other books. But that's interesting because some reviewers found it too convoluted.
Oh, so maybe a little too complex.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's intentional, like Andrew Child showing Reacher adapting.
Right, right.
Or maybe it's just because the pace is so fast and the chapters are shorter.
Yeah, it's that classic balance for authors, how to keep things fresh while staying true to what people love about the series.
Yeah, and some Goodreads reviewers, even though they like the action, they said Reacher felt different in this one.
Different? How?
Less introspective, I guess, than he was in Lee Child's books.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, and the YouTube reviewers had some thoughts about Andrew Child's style, too, like Caffeinated Entertainment.
Yeah.
Said it feels like it could be a season of the Reacher show.
Oh yeah, that makes sense with all the action and fast-paced dialogue.
Yeah, it's like he's writing with the screen in mind.
Totally. And hey, if you're enjoying this deep dive, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave a review.
We love hearing from our fellow bookworms.
Absolutely. Tell us what you think. So back to Andrew Child.
Yeah, how's he making his mark on this character?
Well, from what I'm seeing, he's all about that fast-paced, shorter chapters and bringing back Reacher's wit and humor.
Huh. That's pretty different from Lee Child's style,
Yeah.
which was more internal,
Yeah, more philosophical for sure.
I wonder what those reviewers who thought Reacher felt different meant, though. Like, was it the dialogue or how he interacts with people or something else entirely?
Yeah, a lot of them said he felt more polished in this book,
Huh.
less rugged.
Like he solves problems too easily.
Yeah, missing that gritty realism. Maybe it's because everything moves so fast that there's no time to really get inside Reacher's head.
That's a good point because a lot of people love those internal monologues.
Yeah, that's classic Reacher right there.
For sure.
So interesting to see how these little changes in writing style can really impact how readers see the character.
Absolutely.
Like some people might think a faster pace is more exciting,
Yeah.
but others might feel like it takes away from the depth.
Yeah, for sure.
It all comes down to what you like as a reader, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Like, there are two types of Reacher fans. The ones who crave the action
Right?
and the ones who love that kind of philosophical side.
Right. And it's fascinating to see how those preferences line up with how people feel about Andrew Child taking over.
Yeah, it's a tough job taking on a character as iconic as Jack Reacher.
No kidding. He's got big shoes to fill.
Yeah. But it looks like he's doing a good job so far.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying this deep dive.
Me too. It's
Yeah.
really interesting to see all the different perspectives.
Yeah, and it's only going to get more interesting as we delve deeper.
Absolutely. So stay tuned, folks. We're just getting started.
We've got a lot more to unpack.
A lot more to unpack, exactly.
It's like you've got these two camps of Reacher fans, right? The action fans and the philosophy fans.
Yeah, and it's cool to see how that lines up with how they feel about Andrew Child.
Totally. And speaking of Andrew Child, he doesn't seem shy about making changes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in that interview from the Thriller Zone YouTube channel, he actually says he wants to bring back Reacher's wit and humor.
Interesting.
Like he's making a conscious choice to add a different energy.
So it's not just an accident.
Yeah, and that makes me think of that bookreporter.com review that said the book feels almost cinematic.
Right. Maybe the humor is part of what makes it feel so adaptable.
For sure, definitely fits the tone of the Reacher show, you know.
With all the action and the dry humor.
Exactly. And that makes me think about something bigger, you know,
Right.
like how do you maintain continuity in a long-running series, but also let it evolve,
Right. It's a tough balance.
especially with a character like Reacher, who's so iconic.
Yeah. Everyone has their own idea of who he is.
And those ideas can clash with what a new author wants to do.
You're right. It's like a shared ownership between the author and the readers.
Exactly. The author creates him, but the readers bring him to life.
And that's what makes these discussions so interesting.
For sure, there's no right or wrong answer. It's all about exploring different viewpoints.
Yeah. And appreciating how complex storytelling can be.
Absolutely. Speaking of viewpoints, those Goodreads reviews were a goldmine.
Oh, yeah. So many different reactions.
From people loving the changes to feeling like something's missing.
Yeah. Like one person called it a shot of adrenaline.
While someone else missed Reacher's philosophical musings.
Yeah. Like he's been streamlined for more action.
Right, but then you have Shelf Life Book Reviews,
Yeah.
who said that even with the differences in Too Deep, still captures Reacher's essence.
Interesting.
They pointed to his moral code, his sense of justice, that willingness to fight for what's right no matter what.
It makes you think, what are Reacher's defining traits?
Yeah, is it his strength, his smarts, being a lone wolf, or is it something more like his sense of right and wrong?
Yeah, maybe it's all of those things combined.
And maybe that's what Andrew Child's going for, that core of who Reacher is.
The stuff that goes beyond writing style.
Exactly, like he's stripping away the layers.
Get at the raw essence.
Which might be why some readers feel like he's less complex now.
And even Lee Child's writing changed over 28 books.
Right.
Characters evolve just like people do.
It'd be weird if Reacher never changed.
Yeah, totally.
So maybe this is just a new phase for
A
him.
little more world-weary.
Yeah, maybe a bit more cynical, but still driven by that same sense of justice.
And that's what makes Into Dump so interesting.
Yeah, it's not just another adventure.
It's about adaptation.
It's about facing change, both for Reacher and for the readers.
It's like we're all on this journey together.
Figuring out what this new Reacher universe means.